Translation, desire and power. Perfect translation is impossible. Every representation lies. Self-reference breaks the dream of exactness. The limit of meaning is meaning's engine. The human is an epistemological and existential mongrel, semiotic on the spear side, rhetorical on the spindle side. Our lineage is unclear because our media is conflicted. Both semiotics and rhetoric are rooted in desire. Desire desires itself and consumes its offspring. The human wants to be a perfect sign, perfectly communicated. Culture molds purposeful action. Language becomes self-knowledge's foundation. Language is not merely mirror, but the tane of the mirror. The medium is the condition of the self. Animals may deceive, only humans author themselves. Lying is not autobiography. Expectation is not calendrical futurity. Expectation is not calendrical futurity. Only the human can say, I have a body and I am a body. Reflexive embodiment is a linguistic achievement. Look, I am invisible is the paradox of self-display. The human kills for the sake of an idea. Ideational violence is the apex of abstraction. Power is a magic game of ontological transformations. Dreams are the stuff of which authority is made. Theater precedes government. Performance is the hidden engine of belief. Tragedy and comedy are two sides of one contradiction. Tragic contradiction suffers, comic contradiction is painless. We cry in private and laugh in public. Tears are solitary truce. Laughter is social coping. Comedy tends to classes. Tragedy tends to individuals. The comic generalizes, the tragic singularizes. Both stage the incongruity between ideal and real. Two tears, two catharsises, one theater of absurdity. The genres are border modes of senses. Both are rope tricks of translation. The mission cannot be refused. Find the way in a power-filled world of thoughts and acts. Power is the hidden terrain of cognition. Cognition is the soft technology of obedience. To lay bare the familiar of the unknown is to reverse anesthesia. The obvious is the most concealed. The familiar is a veil, not a window. Mapping the human requires instruments and mistranslations. Every map is picture and story. Every map is a record of limits. Cartographical reason is strong, less by truth than by conviction. Suspicion is the proper hermeneutics of maps. Persuasion is the cartographer's real medium. The absent is made present by technique, and presence made absent by the same. Imagination is a technology of substitution. Representation is controlled, haunting. The territory of the human is a two-front war, mindscape above, rockscape below. The human is the border between godly abstraction and beastly caves. Power is structured like a map. Obedience is drawn before it is enforced. Predictability is a cartographic achievement. The cross is the root geometry of orientation, up, down, left, right, forward, back. Coordinates are the first rhetoric. Movement types are the grammar of space. Homo erectus is caught in its own net, above, now and then, and below. The human stands where coordinates intersect. The body becomes the map's emblem. The center shifts. The intersection relocates desire. Geometry reveals where meaning is anchored. Self-reference is the taboo transcending engine. It erases borders between life and death. It moves the member to the navel. Reproduction becomes recursion. Fiction carries organs differently because fiction is exempted from anatomy. Donald Duck has no navel because he has no origin. Hollywood is a metaphysics with costumes. Too much for one bite, the human is an overload by design. Understanding constipates when it hoards. The cure is continued chewing. Repetition as digestion. The greatest mysteries are overlooked because they are the ground of noticing. What supports inquiry is least likely to be inquired into. Surprise presupposes an unnoticed normality. The primal mystery is that the world makes sense to us. Fact is too thin a word for this givenness. Comprehensibility is itself an enigma. The world's intelligibility remains mysterious even when partial. Wonder survives incomplete explanation. A fragment of sense is still a miracle of sense. The conflict of successful theories does not diminish their success. Incompatibility can coexist with potency. Explanatory tension can be an index of depth, not failure. The miracle is layer, the world makes sense, we make sense, the world's givenness makes sense making possible. Sense is both imposed and composed. We are inside a sense that is not simply ours. Those who notice this miracle do so intermittently. Artists, theologians, philosophers, and scientists are not exempt from forgetfulness. Attention to sense is episodic. Local failure of sense provokes thought. Inquiry is usually triggered by breakdown. Smooth functioning hides its own wonder. Common sense is a complicity with assumptions. We attend enough to survive, not enough to marvel. The fabric of the ordinary is made of extraordinary stuff. Wakefulness is itself miraculous and rarely thematized. We seldom awake to the miracles of waking. We seldom imagine waking out of wakefulness into greater illumination. If we did not make the moment-to-moment sense, there would be no us. A self requires reliable interpretability. Inhabiting requires anticipability and actionable consequence. There is no of course here. Functional necessity does not dissolve metaphysical astonishment. Explaining the condition relocates the mystery rather than removing it. Most organisms flourish without sense-making of the humankind. Successful life does not require explanation. Reaction can replace reason. Explanation is not the default mode of life. The explanatory stance is a late and rare achievement. The law of nature as laws exceeds almost all cognition. Only a subset of humans ever tries to grasp them. The lawfulness we articulate is not the lawfulness that governs. Human flourishing long preceded scientific law, discernment. Survival did not require a theory of cup, planet, and space-time. The scientific gaze is historically exceptional. Man, the sense-maker, is mysterious. Sense-making is not reducible to mere coping. Meaning exceeds utility. Man, the explainer, is doubly mysterious. To explain the universe is to exceed the scale of the explainer. We live as if happenings are explained by other happenings. This because that is the default grammar. The default grammar of occurrence. The world appears in chains. We do not only observe causes, we seek them. Curiosity is causal appetite. Inquiry is an active hunting of origins. We detect patterns, connect them, quantify them, and name them laws. Measurement is pattern made portable. Laws stabilize correlation. Laws empower prediction and manipulation. Sense making is an instrument of ends. Understanding is a lever on events. Sense making unfolds in a public cognitive space. It draws on collective past, it projects into widening futures. Patterns become rules for action, regularity is harvested as guidance. Knowledge becomes technique, sense making generates as a nexus of norms. What happens is redescribed as what should happen. Regularities acquire a quasi thought, a quasi ought. We are surprised or outraged by the unexpected as if nature owned us obedience. Expectation is moralized, yet there is no ought in nature. The extraordinary character of human sense making is visible by contrast of scale. The beast's epistemic foraging is local and direct. The scientist's foraging is remote, indirect, and institutionally amplified.